from Newbury, Blade.
A rotary blade gives this fearsome machine its name, with added slashers. It also contains shatterproof material, can get up to 10 miles an hour, car parts used in the building. It's a grizzly lawnmower.
I'm Josh, captain of Team Blade. On my left, we have Jeff, and on the right, I have Ben. This is Blade. All we intend to do is smash our opponents, slash and grind with these lovely cutters. Weighs about 12.5 stone, so beware.
From Kent, Spike.
This teacher and pupil team use square steel tubing and aluminium sheeting for the chassis and bodywork, wheelchair motors for the power watch, for the battering ram, shunting wedge and angle grinder arm.
Hi there, this is the team from Wilmington Grammar School for Boys. My name's David Brooker, I'm a teacher, and I teach Mark Smith and William Foster. This is our robot Spike, and we've spent the last half a year building it. It's got a steel chassis, aluminium casing, and we've decorated it with some vacuum formed plastic. We've got one weapon, which is a spike, which comes out about 12 inches, and we're hoping to, as it's our first appearance on the show, we're hoping to go as far as we can, and if we get past the first round, we'll be very pleased.
Roboteers, stand by.
Blade with Jeff Reed, son Ben, who wants to be a policeman, and Josh Ainsley. And Spike with teacher David Brooker,
3,
Mark Smith, and
2,
William Foster with the glasses
1.
there.
Activate.
And though we heard that Blade is heavy, Spike actually is even heavier and looks rather cumbersome. And look at that, immediately the fancy artwork and bodywork ripped away by Blade's rotor machine at the front. In on the attack again, Blade, with the camouflage, in case he goes into the CPZs. As if the house robots will be foiled by that. Are they mad? Evo! Spike! Pushing! Blade towards the pit! Sergeant Bash says, well, I'll just come in here and push you away. There's Killer... Ooh! Get away from Killalot! Quick reaction there from Josh Ainsley and the Blade team. And again, this time, Spike up against the rails. There's Sergeant Bash with the lick of flame and the front pincers. And at the moment, Spike's ineffective. Just saw Blade there being impaled on the spikes, but look at that cutting edge there of Sergeant Bash on Spike. Another bit of bodywork goes flying. Again, they squeeze in with the pincers. Spike in problems here. And young Mark Smith and William Foster will do well to get away. Just edging out from Sergeant Bash. Killalot tentatively pushes against Blade, who dances away. Imagine having a lawnmower like that in your back garden. You can see there the slower turn of Spike. They say they do well to get beyond this first stage. Blade has shown the greater aggression and control, and certainly speed. But listen there, you can hear problems, I think, with the front blades. And they seem to have ground to a halt on the front of Spike. In comes Matilda with a little shunt from the rear, with those horns and spikes, flicking Blade up on its side. A bit of an impasse at the moment, so in comes Sergeant Bash. The house robots can do that if the competing robots get stuck together. And spinning away now, Blade. Bashing against those arena spikes. Again takes on Spike. And it's cease. It should be all over. It should go to the judges, but what's this? The Blade boys want more. I think that's after time. They've dumped Spike into the pit. I think cease have been called.
Well, there's a bit of controversy there. Spike might be down the pit, but the time limit was up. We're going for a judge's decision. But first, let's look at some key moments from that epic battle.
And the judges vote on control, style, damage and aggression. Their early aggression by Blade and damage caused to Spike, pushing Spike against the arena walls to take further damage there from Bash. But after cease had been called, they pushed Spike down, and I wonder if that'll count against Blade. Into the pit, but too late.
Well, the judge's decision is through, and I can see a grudge match coming on. They decided that even though there was some skullduggery from Blade after the time had lapsed, They are the unanimous winners. Blade, go through.
Hands. All of the hands, please. He said cease.
We were shouting too much. We didn't hear a thing. We were enjoying it. We were. Heat of the battle, we were shouting.
And you didn't hear him say cease?
Honest, we didn't.
No. Honest, cross your heart, hope to die.
Yes.
Honesty is the best policy, Big Jeffrey. Ha! But Blade through, and next up, Agent Orange and Max Damage.
From Huddersfield, Agent Orange.
The Duncanson cousins were the brains behind Spin Doctor, a finalist in the last wars. Now they're the mandarins who rule Agent Orange with its hydraulic cutter and pickaxe made from a garden fork.
Hi, I'm Phil, this is Pete. This is our robot Agent Orange. We built it out of polypropylene, which is an industrial-grade plastic, basically so that it's really light, which means we can get lots of big, nasty weapons in. The one at the front is a hydraulic cutter, which we've used to cut scaffolding pipe and metal box section, and we're hoping to have a go at Sir Kill-A-Lot with it later on.
At the back, we've got a pickaxe, which goes front and back, and we're hoping to put a few holes in somewhere.
From London, Max Damage.
The first robot ever built by the Cunningham family. Car radiator coolers and wheelchair motors used. The body shell's 6mm thick fiberglass. It took 100 days to build, but what sort of damage can it inflict?
Hello, we are the Cunningham clan. I'm Darren. This is Daniel. That's Charlotte. This is our beast. It's called Max Damage. And Max is actually powered by 2 wheelchair motors, obviously using batteries. But his weaponry at the front is the chainsaw. And at the rear, he's got 2 circular saws, so anything that comes into close contact, it's just to fend them off more than actually do horrific damage.
Robotiers, stand by.
Agent Orange, the heavier robot here, with the cousins, Peter and Phil Duncanson. And Max Damage. In the cherry picker
3,
control, Darren and Charlotte Cunningham.
1. Activate.
Immediately, Agent Orange on the attack. Max Damage, slow to get away. Very slow to get away. Hasn't got away. Has broken down, I think. There's the garden fork pickaxe hanging on. Have you ever seen a garden fork like that? In your worst nightmare. And it's a nightmare at the moment for Max Damage. And Charlotte looks embarrassed. Poor old Darren trying to drive Max Damage into life. But it's Agent Orange doing all the pushing and shunting. You're going towards the pit, Max Damage. Max Damage? You sure? Name like that? Minimum fuss. You were out. That's the most pathetic display we've ever seen in Robot Wars. Shambolic. In comes Dev Metal to give them a little reminder that they were here. After all, they'll be home before the postcards, let's be honest. A battle scar, perhaps. 100 days and nights it took them to build. Max Damage. Time wasted. Well, I hope they've had some fun being here. They've been fun competitors. Oh, it looks as if at least they can see something funny about it all.
And it goes to Agent Orange. Give it up for Agent Orange.
I forgot to put the kill switch on, so it wasn't going to go anywhere. After all those hours of testing as well.
Oh, hours of testing, months of work, one little memory lapse at this stage when it's crucial. That's how nerve-wracking it gets here. How was that for you then, kids?
It was good. We enjoyed all the build-up, but we didn't want to knock them out, really, because we've had a good time with them, haven't we?
It's nice to get it out of the way, though, because you settles your nerves down.
Yeah, you feel like you're on the road now?
Definitely.
How far along the road do you think you're going to get?
We just stepped out the door.
Oh, get you?
A long way to go, then. But these are the qualifiers. Razer and Aggrobot, Blade and Agent Orange. And this is the way they line up for round 2 of Heat C. A grisly affair. Razer and Aggrobot, Blade and Agent Orange. And as the big boys take their lunch break, the diet of sunfoil, nuts and bolts, let's take the weight off our feet, Craig.
Now, robots are a bit like boxers. And I don't mean they're hard, ugly, and can be quite thick. What I mean is, not all of them are like the heavyweights in the main competition. Which is why, over the series, we'll also be running a middleweight competition. And it's seconds out for round 1.
Robotiers, stand by.
For the middleweight melee! Tendamushi all the way from America with Mike and Lisa Winter who plan to gobble up opponents. Hard cheese with bayonet weapons, Nigel Kerr and Andrew Norton, hardly mousy. Grinder, made from a wheelbarrow, team dads Ian and son William Sisson. A-Kill, started life as a model tank, Chris Delp, son Ryan and cousin Andy Braisted. And Ripper's Revenge, made of mild steel with Anthony and Donald Milnes and Auntie Jackie Holland.